Proxy Table Gaming. Lucky Sixes is waving like a, I don't know. I was gonna say a sad
seal?
man, but
Oh,
no.
like a sad man. Does sad
Yeah,
man
I don't.
wave?
Well, that's why I hesitated because you wouldn't know
I
the
thought you were going to
sad
go
nor
seal. The sad man. Oh,
no.
goodness.
That's
Well,
why I
hello,
hesitated
folks.
because it didn't make any sense. And I'm Hyper G, who is not waving nor sad. Well, I'm quite sad. I said sad now actually because I'm
Yeah,
not sad.
this real
Anyway,
downer on the whole bat rip.
yeah. Shall we just scrap this
Let's
one?
just go. No,
Yeah.
no,
All right.
we'll crack on. We'll crack on.
Okay.
Hello,
All right.
folks.
Good. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Round five. Masters Open. You are in with a shout if results on another table go your way.
Yes. So
And by that I mean Matty P loses 20-0.
we need. I actually think it was like because
Was it
Tommy
less?
T is second currently, and
Oh yeah.
I think it meant that Tommy needed like a 15, and I needed a 20, and it very
And if
specifically.
Tommy
Otherwise,
had got that, then
yeah,
Tommy
yeah.
would have won anyway. So
So, yeah.
mathematically, it was probably impossible for you to leapfrog
It was
them
close. It
both.
was close, but there was a
Yeah.
chance. I think there was a
Mm.
couple of things there. So a big win here against
Yeah.
the Vampire Counts.
Yeah, I think if all four of you drew, then I could still get second. So yes, come
Yes,
on.
absolutely. So all in really. This is my
Yeah.
list. The last time you will see it for a while.
Mm.
On foot, Master of Conrad Tower, Commander Fleet Officer on
He's doing well.
Sky Sloop. Yeah,
I like him.
He's an interesting piece. 440 is a decent amount.
It's quite
as
hefty.
well.
Yeah, quite hefty.
Yeah, very versatile. 2 chariots, 2 dragons, big Queen's Guard, and some spears as well.
Out of
On
interest,
Scabba,
before you move on,
yeah.
just quickly, I know that your fleet commander was worth less points than your prince, but do you think that might have fared better in the duel round?
Well,
I'm just thinking of the impact hits, but maybe not,
possibly.
because there weren't many foes you were getting impact hits against.
He
Thinking
only
about
has
it,
3
was it?
attacks.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Scrap that. Scrap that. I was just thinking,
Maybe.
like,
I'd have to get
yeah.
super lucky, I think.
I mean, if you could stay 48 inches away and just shoots the sloop, then you'd win all day, But anyway, moving on.
But yeah, an interesting piece for sure. I was against DanT, who was we've already seen this list.
Yeah, in round one.
Opponent.
Feels like a while ago, but yeah.
Yes. Well, it was a while ago. Actually,
It was. It actually was.
So yes. So basically, an on-foot scabfat count. He's got Creepy Steve on a cadaver wagon. 33 ghouls, 35 skeletons, some bat swarms, a dark coach, which is very cool, a court of the damned, 6 wraiths, some vampire knights, and a shrieking horror. All the cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely the cool stuff. I like it.
We played for the 5th round, Spoils of War and Mutual Encroachment. I think Mutual Encroachment is if there was a terrain piece, you could deploy in it, but you couldn't charge turn 1, I think.
Sure.
It was irrelevant in our game, really.
Yeah.
I got Stand Firm, so he nominated the Sea Guard and the Queen's Guard for this.
Okay.
Basically, if any of them are destroyed, decimated, etc., at the end of the game, I lose. And then he also rolled up Demonstrate Superiority, and my top 2 were my Spears and my Queen's Guard. So my Queen's Guard needs to survive, really. That's the big one for the...
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's got to kill my units, and I've got to keep them alive, basically, as the secondary as well. Obviously,
most battles would probably follow that pattern, to be fair.
Yeah.
Generally. Keep my units alive.
If that happens, I'm doing well. Yeah, absolutely. And obviously with the secondary being, the primary, being Spoils of War, those 3 units are going to be super important throughout the battle.
Yeah.
So, for the last time, this is my beautiful army.
Yep.
And this was deployment. I vanguarded my Reavers. He's vanguarded his ghouls as he is the defender. And
makes sense.
Vanguard unit, and they've moved up there. So otherwise, it's as you see. So I've got Sea Guard on the hill, Queen's Guard, my buff dragon, spears in the middle center. My offensive dragon, very sweary.
You don't like rough dragon, do you?
Rough.
I tried to get that to stick as opposed to
I
buff
can
dragon.
keep it. Yeah, sure. My rough dragon and my buff dragon. So here's my rough dragon. I've got Rory. He's a drinker. First, then I've got Catclaw, and out on the side I've got my Sky Sloop commander guy. He's got on the top left, as you can see, his Vampire Knights. Then in front of a dark coach, he's got his Bat Swarms. Then he's got, which I think they're bee swarms, aren't they?
They are,
from what I remember.
Yeah.
Then he's got his Cadaver Wagon in the skeletons, his Court of the Damned out on its own, ghouls with Scabfat in them, and he's got Shrieking Horror out on the side there. So I got first turn, and I moved up like so. Tentative, but with my spears pretty aggressive, going for the ghoul unit. In the duel, as we mentioned before, I did kill his lord, so I'm hoping to carry that on and get that back up.
I see the Cadaver Wagons jump ship and is now in the skeletons instead of the ghouls, which was different from our battle.
Okay, cool. So maybe he's learned. I don't know. Maybe that's a better place.
I mean, it didn't go overly well for Dan, but I don't think that was a deployment choice problem. So
sure. But yeah, my Reavers managed to get into a very tidy spot up there, like troops in all over the place.
Really nice.
And otherwise, my Queen's Guard just simply move up to so they can shoot some ghouls in my turn 1. I on the right side, I'm staying exactly enough away from because 24 inches would be fun. So I'm staying far enough away that I'm sure I could shoot it. I don't know.
Only with the sloop at that range.
I'm being quite tentative with the. I don't want the Shrieking Horror coming up and killing me before I can do some wounds to it. I get +1 to hit on these guys, which of course is a previous edition
when it was shooting.
No longer the case, but yeah, enjoying it while it lasts. And I kill 9 ghouls.
Very cool.
With all in. Onto his turn, and he moves forward in the centre, and on the left side, just straight up my Sea Guard, not scared in the slightest there. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. In Magic, he gets a Magic Move off on these guys, and Dying Blow as well, which is a decent one on Wraiths. So they definitely all attack. Just to get up in my grill, really. I charge him in the flank.
Oh, that's handy.
There.
Yeah.
And I move up like so with all of my other things. My Reavers come back. They were in a great spot, but they're needed. They're needed back here, and they chaff the knights from going into my Sea Guard. I have to. So I've been charging up with my spears means I have to chaff with my buff dragon on his skeleton. Wow. So that there's no. I don't mind anything else coming in, but I don't want everything to come into my spears.
Right.
Too much of the same. And I just have to do that. Also, I get a chance to breathe on his Dark Coach as well, get some wounds off there, while my Queen's Guard can see it, and my buff dragon. I say buff dragon actually. This time he chose molten copper. As well. So he was living steel and molten copper rather than
lightly rougher dragon.
Yes. Yeah. This is Dan. This is showing the chaff and Dan's thumb. Particularly nice thumb.
It is a nice thumb. He should be a hand model.
I get Favour of Melodis off, which is very nice. And I also get Molten Copper, which isn't the thing that deals the damage to the Dark Coach, but I do get him down to 1 wound, and then my Breath Weapon punks the last wound off. And considering he's got a 4-up Aegis save, that was pretty lucky on my part.
That's incredible.
So going up there to just try and punk some wounds off and start that process, I actually kill the whole model, which is fantastic.
That's amazing.
Points.
Massively.
Over here, I've sort of moved so that I can. Now that he's all the way out on the flank, he's not going to be able to march. so I feel comfortable
Right.
now to be within 24. I think previously
Yeah.
I wasn't. So I'm actually 16.1, or enough away that if he marches, he's going to be too far away to scream. And I get 1 wound off. So again, starting that process.
Yeah, nice.
The Sea Guard, I think, shoot against the swarms and kill a few bees.
Yeah, I suppose they're
I
not
didn't.
really going to do much to the vampire knights, are they?
Yeah, and I say
AP0.
if I go back very quickly, I didn't want to do a thing where you do really well and kill
And
them,
you
and they
kill
can
one.
charge
What?
anyway.
Why
So
not? Why?
yeah,
Why? I
so
think that's a pansy move, if you ask me.
I killed the wraiths with possibly one. They did 1 damage to me. I'm not sure.
Yeah, combat
But
res
yeah,
will win that. That
pretty
was really handy,
easy
actually.
to punk them. And I've still got. I think I did take a wound because I on purpose didn't use up favor because I thought if he's coming in, I need it for this.
Mm.
And he goes in with everything. He's not messing around in this game.
No.
We are cracking on. His swarms go into Rory. The knights on the left go into the reavers. The spears, the cadaver wagon and skeletons go into the buff dragon.
It's the court in the skeletons, isn't it? I was wrong about the cadaver wagon switching, but the cadaver's
The
now
court is out
free.
of the cadaver
the court's
wagon,
the one that's out. Oh,
yes.
Okay. Right.
Cadaver wagon is in with the skeletons who has charged the buff dragon, and the court and Scabfat's units of ghouls go into the spears. And I'm pretty. I don't like the court. The court's a bit annoying.
No.
But otherwise, I'm pretty happy. I've got a 5-up save on my first round. I've got the favor as well to go along with that, and ghouls don't have much of a save. So I'm pretty
ghouls
happy.
are pretty agility high though, aren't they? They're like 5 on the charge. So
not
the
with
court, they
me
will
with
attack
spears.
first, right?
I'm agility. I want to say 6, and I think they go to. Yeah, possibly they do go first.
Ghouls are probably
first. Obviously not before my lord, but
no, true.
And this is what it looks like at the end of the only thing not in combat is the Shrieking Horror, who just like plods up slightly.
Looks like a plodder.
He's definitely plodding.
Yeah.
He has a really good magic phase and gets Chorus of the Damned and Wisp on him, Whispers of Hell on me, and I think he just rolled really well. Well, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit more worrying.
Dicey. Yeah.
Over here, the Reavers die.
Oh.
Obs. The buff dragon doesn't take any wounds. Well, he takes 2, but doesn't take many. I was expecting more. And actually does 3 wounds to the cadaver wagon, which Steve is on. Bearing in mind it's got 4. I was like, oh, well, I do only have 4 attacks, so I can't grumble. And then I do a wound as a stomp to the thing, but it's not enough for combat res not to rush me off, and it ends up like this. I'm actually facing downwards and this way. But yeah, so not terrible, but could have everything's still around, is still alive. And I was like, because my whole model has flaming attacks. So when I saw him going in with that, I was just like, right, just put everything onto the cadaver wagon, see if you can get lucky. I got 3 out of 4, which is pretty good, but not quite enough to kill him. Over here, there was a bit, I took hardly any wounds, apart from on my lord, which died to Scabfat because of the court was going at the same time as my lord.
Right.
So we hit each other at the same time. We killed each other at the same time. I only took 2 wounds overall because of the favor and 5-up save from the ghouls, and I did a decent amount to them. And I think overall I won by 1. I want to say, which is why the court has a wound on it. Or maybe I won by 4, and the court got down to 1. Because I think he counts down with wounds.
It looks like he is from his cadaver because he's got 1 dice on the cadaver.
So I think I won by. I'm going to say I won by 4.
That's a great result. I thought,
which is fantastic. But I did lose my lord.
2 or 3 ranks of elves there.
Yeah, I was. So I was like, oh, okay, my lord is a big part of it, but I'm pretty happy with both of us losing the lord. I'm content on the what do you call it, on the grind with that. I think.
Yeah.
And
although they will re-roll to hit next turn, and they'll still be attacking first, won't they? So. Or maybe the same time now. I don't know.
Rory takes no wounds and does a bunch to him. He kills some of the swarm, and Catclaw comes in to help him out as well.
Of course.
The rough dragon, as some would say, actually goes into the cadaver wagon to see if he can punk him for the last time.
Nice.
For the last wound, and we'll see where we go with that. Otherwise, my Queen's Guard turned to face the vampire knights, who have been charged by the Sea Guard, thinking that they can't take a charge, and it will at least stop them from getting all the lance buffs on them.
Yeah.
The sloop is just happy just to stay there and keep plodding away at plinking away at the horror as well, especially with -1 heal and hopefully another cadaver wagon to go at the end of this turn. So I'm hoping I can just grind him throughout the rest of the battle as well. Obviously, the cadaver wagon Steve has taken over with Gates of the Netherworld at this point, so they're not crumbling just yet. But I'm with 1 wound left, considering I did 3, I'm pretty happy that I'm gonna get rid of his magic after this turn.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens. He goes in. I obviously only do 1 wound. I think I do split. I don't go all full 4 onto him. So overall, I do 5 wounds, 4 skeletons, and I think that includes the stomp. They did 1 to me, and I think I have to test, but I just hold because, as you can see in the bottom left corner, the BSB is there. So I do, but I think I do need a reroll, but I hold, and all is good. He has no magic now. So I'm pretty happy with how that's going. Over at the bottom, I killed the swarm with Rory and the charging Catclaw, and I'm 1 inch away from going into the ghouls as an overrun. I think I needed an 8 and I got a 7. Not out of the realms of possibility, but I was like, if I've just got that, I'd have been so happy. I'd have been so happy. However, my luck seems to turn in that I just don't do.
Mistress.
I just fluff all my attacks. I can't even remember I think I'm at a really bad magic phase as well. And I just fluff my attacks. He ends up winning by like 4 or 5, and my BSB is not close enough to them as it was to the dragon, and I run and get run down. Now it's a huge chunk of points, but it's a huge chunk of points I didn't get in with the court being there. It's now his turn next as well.
Gosh.
As he's run over with the ghouls, not only did he get my spears. Oh yeah, sorry, that's a bit. He also can now see my sloop pretty easily, which
right there.
Was not what I was expecting. This threw me so much. And was a lot of points. Thrown back.
Well, I thought you'd take more damage in the last turn, but I thought maybe the 5-up Aegis had saved your bacon.
Yeah,
but I guess they were re-rolling to hit this time round, weren't they?
Yeah, so... four saves from the what's it called? Favor as well, and I had a 5-up armor to most of it as well. So it's I was not expecting this, especially as what had happened. We sort of like both cancelled each other out. But they just went to town, and I just didn't, and died because of it. So fair play, ghouls. Over here, I go in. I only do 1 wound, and he does a bunch to me, and I'm like, okay, well, I just need to hold 1 more round so that my Queen's Guard can come and help out. So that's
because they're decent
1 more
in combat
round,
now,
Sea
aren't
Guard.
they? Queen's Guard.
Do you hear? 1 more round.
1 more.
But again, going back to this, obviously with the spears. Losing that is a scoring unit that has lost in combat to a scoring unit. So Spoils of War wise, he is 1-0 up as well. So I've got to do it as much.
And he's got his secondary by defeating
them. He has got his second. His
both,
secondary.
Isn't it?
So he's got. Well, no, because it was Sea Guard and Queen's Guard for my secondary.
Right, sure.
Keep alive. So those Sea Guard are really pumping some. They really need to hold just 1 more turn, guys. That's all you need to. Just 1 more turn, please.
Okay.
As I said, the ghouls now see me. It's not even a roll to get into this flank of my Sky Swoop guy, and I'm like, oh god, this whole flank is just dissipated. And this is what it looks like on Vampire's turn 3. He obviously can't charge with his court, otherwise I think he would have. But moves so that he's out of so he's out of line of sight, and the Shrieking Horror comes up. I can't remember. I think we've already done, or it might be at the end of his turn that he does the crumble. But the court won't suffer it, I don't think. But the Shrieking Horror and the other 2 units will. So I'm just hoping
got a vampire in the back, hasn't it? So.
Yeah, I'm just hoping they just crumble. I try and do a few wounds. I actually do like 3 wounds, I think, in combat, but everything else just runs me off the board. And those ghouls are really smashing me up in this battle. Over here, I lose 4. I do another wound to him, and I just hold.
That was lucky. Yeah.
And we look to be like this, and my Queen's Guard are hopefully going to come. It is a roll, though. I think I need a 3 or more, so it's not a given. Over here, I roll it. I lose loads. We do 3 each, and it ends up that I need a double 1 to stay in the old insane courage. And by Jove, they rolled it.
Good lad.
I don't even think they needed the BSB this time round. The old rough dragon. But yes, that was really
looking
cool.
rough.
He's 1 more wound left on him. So this is what it looks like. A bit of crumblage in terms of the ghouls as well, and the skeletons have crumbled down a little bit more, I think. Shrieking Horror is just bossing it, not losing any wounds to this crumble. He loves it when his
having a
general
walk.
dies. Yeah. Well, he's plodding along. Yeah.
Exactly.
Over here, my Rory goes into the court. Catclaw goes into the. Catclaw and the dragon, the buff dragon, go into the skeletons to try and help old Ruffy off. And the Queen's Guard obviously trying to bail out my Sea Guard. Really need a 3 up. I get it. Oh my goodness. So that's really lucky. And in terms of the primary objective, if I can kill these guys, then I can draw the objective, and then just hope the ghouls just die. That's my plan. Hope.
Yeah.
Over here, this is what it looks like. They all get in, obviously. In Magic, I get a +1 to hit, and I triple to it to mean that I miscast
Witchfire,
and I do 1 more wound to the guy that has 1 more wound left, and he dies. I'm like, well,
thanks for helping.
Unexpected. Yeah, gives Rory a +1 to hit. It is important, but yeah. Queen's Guard absolutely do a number. They show once again how actually good in combat they are.
Yeah.
They are no mugs, and they save the Sea Guard, drawing me the secondary objective.
Yes,
because I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to get any of these with only 2 turns left, I think. Over here, yes, the skeletons, they are mean skeletons. They plink off the last wound on my other dragon and make Catclaw run because we don't do enough wounds. I think I do 1 impactful hit, whatever. Luckily, Rory does kill the court, so there's points there. But now is facing as is. Yes, rearing up.
Bottom is vulnerable.
Yes. He gets charged by the skeletons.
That too.
The plodding Shrieking Horror was close enough to the now shaken Catclaw, who's not long for this world. The ghouls move over like so, and you can see their numbers dwindling there. This is I think this is actually it's turn 4, but it's one of the last pictures because of what happens.
It's 2 battles now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Poof, and
this
not getting
is the rest of the time, the rest of the battles things crumbles. So while it looks good, unfortunately they are still alive. I do get half points, but they keep the primary objective to mean that we draw that 1-1. Which is a shame. The Shrieking Horror, by the way, took 1 wound over the course of 3 more crumbles.
All the
it was incredible
shots.
Both Catclaw and Rory obviously succumb to their fate, leaving the skeletons and the Shrieking Horror and half points for the ghouls. as well. And that is the last picture of the game. A really fun battle to finish on.
Yeah.
And overall, I had 5 really, really fun battles, or 4 battles, I guess, really fun battles. And it was a real
And the
chill
duel.
weekend
Yeah.
for me. So I'm a big thank you to all my opponents. And yeah, this was a topsy-turvy one. I thought I had it in the bag, and then the spears crumbled, and it
Yeah.
kind of all unravelled from there, really. So well played, Dan, and well played the Ghouls. Big man of the match there.
Yeah. I think so.
However, points-wise, we
Ooh.
drew the objectives both wise because we got the secondaries each.
Yeah.
And points-wise, I just nicked it. So 12-8 to me, which actually meant I won all 4 of my battles,
Oh, okay.
which was really cool.
Nice. Yeah.
So I won't say where I came. We'll do that for the last in your battle.
Yeah, because this isn't far off a draw, is it? So, you know.
No, this is quite drawery.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 12-8 against Dan, really fun battle. And yeah, it's a good one with some good stories in it for sure.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, I mean, I suppose really for Dan, it was his not worth many points units that were left on the board other than the horror. Because obviously it's just the skeletons without any characters in and the ghouls without any characters in. So although he had a decent wedge of stuff hanging onto that centre, it wasn't worth a lot to help him out with the VP difference, was it? So a lot of the expensive stuff had died.
Couldn't quite get the same sort of total. But yeah, with me, to be fair, all my dragons, both my chariots, my sloop, my spears, my lord. So it's actually totted up to more than I thought it was. But there was a bit of a sigh of relief when it was drawn objective and I got to 12-8 on the thing. I was like, oh goodness me. Whew.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game. Really, really good game.
Absolutely. Yeah, nice one. Cool. So give us some comments. Feel free to predict if you think Lucky Sixes has done enough to earn a podium place or not. Because obviously, as we say, if Tommy does manage to beat Matty P, then Tommy will either win or come second, which will obviously bump Lucky Sixes down a little bit, depending on what I do as well. As I may
big battle coming up.
Be able to defeat Darren and get into the podium as well myself with a late flourish of activity after 2 not so great rounds on my part. But yeah, let us know what you think. And yeah, feel free to check out magneticmovementtrade.com. They have provided us with lots of goodies over the last couple of years. We are very grateful to them. They provide some awesome stuff, so check those out. Feel free to check out Warhall, because it's an awesome way to play online if you don't get a chance to do tabletop battles. We very much appreciate Hugo and his team for making Ninth Age so awesome online. I think it's really made the community an extra facet to keep the game going.
And both of those do stuff for Old World as well if you're interested in watching this and have some thoughts for that. So there's Converter Trays and magnetic.com. And then we'll do their own sort of separate thing for it as well.
Yeah, and check us out on the usual channels and join our Patreon if you fancy, keeping us going a little bit longer, keeping the lights on in PTG world, in this wonderful world of Ninth Age and Old World. Cool. We'll see you for my round 5 and see how I get on.
Yes, I should say as well, actually, before we go, there's quite a few tournaments coming up in the next few weeks. There's Tankers one in May. I believe Tony is looking at one later on in the year in Daventry. There's one in Durham as well, very, very soon. So go on the forum, check out all the tournament section. If you're on the WhatsApps as well, just feel free to ping anyone a message. And Discords as well. So there's a decent amount of tournaments coming up in the next few months. Definitely not dying down in that front.
I think David and Elliot are also hosting a one-day on the 17th of May.
Is that Reading Way? Is that? No, Ben Dunford.
Tonbridge.
Yeah, I think Ben Dunford is looking to do something in Reading as well. So so there's a
few going on.
A bunch. So do
support those guys.
Yeah, for sure. I believe Durham's in April.
Okay.
Yeah, so as well. So yeah, that's sometime. But yes, go check them out. But yes, one more game left in this
One
Masters Open
more
tournament.
game.
And then obviously we can move on to Art of War, Bat Reps.
We can,
from
hot
yourself.
on its heels.
And
yeah.
also probably now that the official rules freeze has happened, we can perhaps look at that a bit as well in the future.
Yeah.
So let us know what you'd like us to do. And as always, comment, share, subscribe, like, and love.
In that order. Or all at once. We're good for that too.
Otherwise, as always, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you later.